The spectators out in an abundance, and we can definitely expect, I think, lots of drama, lots of action to be had in this wonderful series. Of course, the championship has already been crowned. We've had it, of course, confirmed back at Mugello. Noel Leone is the champion of the Euroformula Open here this season in 2023, following in the footsteps of the likes of Ollie Goethe as well, who went on to then do F3 in his next season and is represented strongly. But nonetheless, despite this being a race for pride, surely these drivers are looking to put themselves in good stead to potentially grab race wins here. It is still very much a valuable enterprise for them here at Barcelona this weekend. My name is, of course, George Morgan. Joining me in the commentary box is the one, the only. It's Chris Stevens. Chris, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, grand, George. Not much to be fighting for in this particular weekend, with the Drivers' Championship and indeed the Teams' Championship wrapped up as well, but something still for the drivers to fight for. They want to go out on a high, and of course, since Monza, a lot of these drivers have been busy attending testing for the FIA Formula 3 Championship in Jerez, and in fact here in Barcelona as well. We had Noel Leone, of course, with Van Amersfoort, Josh Dufek with PHM, Charlie Wirtz was out with Genza, Cian Shields was out with Hightech, who he knows well from his GP3 campaign as well. And of course, they were joining Ollie Goethe and Christian Mansell from last season as well. They're expected to stick around for a second season as well, and we're expecting an awful lot of these drivers to end up in the FIA F3 Championship next year. And we've already had confirmed as well that Bryce Aaron, the American, going back to the States for next year, racing in the Indy NXT Championship with Andretti, and in fact not here this weekend because he's out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway testing.
He is, and we wish Bryce Aaron all the very best. It's been a wonderful experience having him with us this season, as we again get to see the mesmeric, prosaic Francesco Simonazzi whipping the tail out as he always does here this time at Barcelona. It was a treat to watch at Monza as well, this time around, giving us a bit of a taste here this time around the Spanish circuit, heading through Camps Corner. 15 minutes and 25 to bring you in terms of qualifying action already. Now we're seeing Cian Shields notch together a purple first sector already. Vladimir Netishil currently at the top here with a purple Speed Trap Venture. Francesco Simonazzi now purple in the second sector. We'll see the times now start to get more true to form very, very soon, but we will obviously allude to the fast time that was set by Noel Leone. He absolutely blitzed the field here this weekend so far in practice, a 1:33.012 being the fastest all weekend set in FP2, with Cian Shields only 73 thousandths off that time. It just goes to show here, Chris, how much Cian Shields has improved, as we now see Simonazzi take a 1:33.091 already here in qualifying.
Well, yeah, Cian Shields second in the standings at the moment with 4 wins to his name, the most recent coming at Mugello last time out, as Noel Leone was crowned champion. Yeah, he's definitely come a long way since the start of the season, the young Scotsman. But obviously no one's been able to touch Noel Leone so far this year. That 33.0, as you mentioned, some 3.5 seconds quicker than this time last year on the old layout with the slow final sector. But in perspective, when we were here testing at the start of the year, it was 31.5 that was the fastest time set by, in fact, Noel Leone, I believe. But slightly different conditions then, as we were running different tyres back then.
Yeah, well, Noel Leone, after being crowned champion, he joins a grand roster of drivers that have represented Team Motor Park and have taken victory in this championship. Marino Sato being the first to do it back in 2019. Cameron Dass doing it in 2021, Oliver Goethe doing it last season as well. But many great drivers have come across to this series and have done tremendously well off the back of it, and we've seen many of them go on to do great things. We look at the likes of Alex Palau, who won here back in 2014 for Campos, who has since proven to be one of the stars at the well, certainly the IndyCar series, as well as Colton Herta, who would also take a Race 2 victory here in 2016, going on to do the same back then, though winning for the Carlin Motorsport team all the way back then. And speaking of hellacious returns as well, Enzo Trulli, welcome back to the championship. We of course saw him and Jarno Trulli walking around the paddock yesterday. A late entry and confirmation here by Motor Park. Oh, I tell you what, Nettershall, I think, might have spun there, heading through Bank Sambadel. And was there some debris? Let's take a look.
It's definitely had a spin at turn 10, but no debris by the looks of it. So it's just been able to keep it out of the gravel, just as Trulli was coming up on him. Yeah, Trulli, of course, we haven't seen him since the very start of the season, all the way back in Portimao. Won the first race as well, back then as well. From pole position, we retreated to some absolutely sensational fights between him and Tim Tramnitz that weekend, and maybe we'll see some between him and Noel Leon or Charlie Wirtz and Josh Dufek as well. But yes,
we do wish, of course, Tim Tramnitz well, because, of course, has recently signed with the Red Bull Junior outfit as well. So
yeah,
he's gone on to do great things. Of course, was absolutely, like you mentioned, brilliant back at Portimao in his duels with Enzo Trulli. And Trulli himself, obviously, with a bright future too, because he is such a strong talent.
Well, he's been doing very well in the Superformula Lights campaign this year. He is a race winner, currently 4th in the standings. Can't help but feel he would have been a little bit higher up without some bad luck at a disqualification a few races ago, but we'll see. Still a few races left in that championship over in Japan, but back in Europe for a little bit, and going guns in the first sector at the moment, up on Charlie Wirtz's benchmark time of 32.092 at the moment, and improving even further in the middle sector as well. It's purple in the middle sector. And now, George, what I'm loving about this new layout here, from this moment on, Enzo Trulli will be flat out until he hits the brakes for turn 1. Oh, he would be if he was finishing the lap. God damn it, Enzo.
Oh,
right, set me up there.
Hey, look, that's unfortunate, Chris. That is really unlucky. But
the point I was trying to make is that it's an awfully long run to be flat out through the final 2 corners, all the way down the pit straight. That is a longer full throttle section.
It's almost like he heard you.
I know, but it's a longer full throttle section than from La Source down up Eau Rouge through Kemmel towards Les Combes at Spa.
It is, yeah. It is flat out, and it's a lot of fun as well for the drivers, because obviously it makes turn 13 and 14 so inviting. As once again we see Simonazzi flicking the tail out on the BVM car. Of course, Giuseppe Mazzotti will be hoping for big results this weekend, and this is the type of circuit that someone like Francesco Simonazzi can really sink his teeth into, because you can whip the car heading through some of the sections. You look at the likes of Campsa Corner, the likes of turns 1 and 2, even turns 4 to a certain degree, as Jarno Trulli comes across to give his son a little bit of advice as well. Of course, where better to get your advice from than someone who was obviously very much held a long-standing and superb career in single-seater racing in Formula 1, and vastly experienced at his trade and art as well.
Some racing dads have been known to get slightly too involved with their boys and actually end up being banned from the garages by the teams, but not so at Motor Park with Jarno. I have a very good relation there by the look of it. So yeah, Jarno offering some words of encouragement. Jakob Bergmeister back at the wheel of a Euroformula car as well. We missed him at Monza, but the 4th generation racing driver is back at the wheel of that number 26 machine. He's gone 5th fastest.
And will take the rookie championship crown as well. So congratulations as well to Jakob Bergmeister on achieving that. Of course, we did witness Gerard Z, Vladislav Ryabov and Juju Noda contend for the rookie classification, but Bergmeister, who took flat out 3 victories back at Red Bull Ring, as well as podiums further back in the season, was 4 times a consecutive race winner in the rookie class back at Portimao and Spa-Francorchamps, between race 2 at Portimao to race 2 at Spa. So it certainly held the form cards for that, and actually looking to have a full season campaign in this championship next season. After I spoke to him recently, was of course a little disappointed to miss out in our last round at Mugello, but excited to be back here at Barcelona, and already looking ahead to 2024 with a return to the Euroformula Open Championship. So looking forward to seeing him, and hopefully he can use the experience that he has garnered this season in order to perhaps put on a big charge next year.
I certainly hope so. We'd love to see Jakob back next year. There's clearly some talent there. Now, somebody's kicked up some gravel on the exit of 12. I see Jakob just making his way through it there. So somebody's dipped a wheel on that little gravel trap on the exit of 12 there. And it is quite a narrow strip and a bit of AstroTurf before the gravel there. So it is easier to do it than, say, So we're at like turns 9 or 3, for example. But this is where we stand provisionally. Just over 0.4 of a second separating the top 6. Charlie Wirtz on provisional pole ahead of Noel Leon and Enzo Trulli. That's just 1/4 of a second separating those 3 cars, as Vladimir Netishil here looks to improve his time for 1:33.763. The Gold Cup driver from the Czech Republic makes his way through turns 1 and 2. It's the effective racing driver as well, and F3 champion in the Austrian Cup back in 2021, and we've seen another partial campaign from him in the Euroformula Open, as we did last year as well. And this effective racing team that was founded in 2016 started off in Formula Renault 2.0 and then started running F3 machinery in 2019, and remains actually the only HWA-powered car on the grid. The rest of them running Spies engines. It's going to come up some traffic here out of 9. Didn't get too badly affected. Brand new set of Pirelli tyres going on Jakob Bergmeister's car there. Oh, look at it, yeah, Vladimir is going to get quite held up here. Is that Netishil in front of him? Ah, well, Charlie Wirtz now on a lap by the looks of it. Yeah. Or building up to one anyway.
Yeah, Charlie Wirtz, who currently spearheads the top of the timing screens, 1:32.092 with 2:10 separating him and Noel Leon. Of course, our new and crowned Euroformula Open champion, and looking to perhaps put on a dazzling display to close out his season. Despite winning the title, he's of course going to want to try and win the remaining races in the series as well, as Netishil finally blasts past the Levente Ravesh's motor park car as well. Currently sat 7th fastest, Levente Ravesh, of course another driver that moved across from the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, coming here to the Euroformula Open as well, much like, of course, his other competitors, Charlie Wirtz as well, Noel Leon doing that at the very start of the season. And just looking to embed himself into the track. Just a couple of slow runs from Levente Ravesh. I'm sure Netishil, though, probably didn't appreciate being blocked earlier on. As we now see Enzo Trulli out on track, and after a little chinwag with his father, Jarno Trulli, makes his way through towards turns 1. And there is Noel Leon, your champion-elect here at Spain. And took the title back at Mugello last time around, and confirmation provisional driver standings, 367 points for Noel Leon, with Cian Shields 92 points back in 2nd place. Simonazzi in 3rd with 105 there as well for BBM Racing. Successful season for Simonazzi as well. Probably would have liked to have got more race wins under his belt. Has certainly been in proximity for them, but maybe this weekend might prove to be opportunistic for him.
Yeah, but it's just Noel's been the absolute class of the field, hasn't he? He's like a sponge absorbing the data that he needs to improve on his time. And speaking of improving on times, Enzo Trulli going fastest in the 1st sector now. So 4.5 minutes left on the clock, and the drivers now building up to their final runs in qualifying. Trulli purple in the middle sector as well. Charlie Wirtz is returning the serve on this lap as well, because he's gone fastest in the 1st sector himself. So the time's going to come in pretty thick and fast here. Now Trulli is going to take it flat out through those final 2 corners. And the words they were described with was, easy flat by Cian Shields to me. And Enzo Trulli lowers the benchmark to a 31.756, 3/10 clear of Charlie Wirtz. But he is going faster still. He's gone faster in the middle sector as well. So this looks like it's going to be a lap that usurps Trulli. But on that provisional pole time through turn 12 now, puts his foot flat to the floor and will remain so for the rest of the lap. Charlie Wirtz, the young Austrian, looking to make a move up into FIA F3 next year, along with many of his series compatriots, and goes across the line and retakes provisional pole position. But Enzo Trulli, he's not done yet. He's just gone faster again in the first sector. Personal best coming in for Noel Leon and Francesco Simonazzi as well. 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, a game of ping-pong erupting here at Barcelona. Improvements for Noel Leon as well, who's set to 28.227. Now, that isn't far away from Enzo Trulli's purple time in the first sector. So, I'll tell you what, enter Noel Leon into the scrap. Now, talking about this, of course, we speak to Kai, his engineer. Taco is what he calls him on the radio. So is it taco time this time around for Noel Leon, who makes his way through the final sector this time, rising up through back Sambadel, very close as well with Enzo Trulli heading through sector 2 as Trulli now looks to hook it up, heading through the final 2 corners on this flying lap. Just over a 10th and a quarter in the second sector up on the time that's fastest set by Charlie Wirtz. Heads up towards the line. It's P1 for Enzo Trulli. But what can Noel Leon muster in? He has lost time in that second sector. Third fastest for Noel Leon. Can't quite find the P1 time, but Enzo Trulli retakes the top from Charlie Wirtz, but it's purple for Wirtz in the second sector. Here we go, party on here at Barcelona, and here with 2 minutes to go, Charlie Wirtz looking to retake the position that he's lost. He's going to hook it up through, fast pace, pedal to the floor this time for Charlie Wirtz, as the Austrian looks to perhaps dispatch Enzo Trulli there from the top. Trulli's gone fastest in the first sector as well. Wirtz takes pole. He takes pole. P1 going to him so far, but Trulli is 17 thousandths up in that first sector.
This is just that bit in rugby where they keep kicking the ball back up into the other one's end, or just a never-ending
fantastic
rally in tennis. They just keep knocking 7 bells out of each other in the sectors at the moment. It's going one way, then it's going the other. Purple sector's just coming every which way, lighting up our timing screen, and Enzo Trulli is still not finished. He's done 2 purple sectors on this lap. Again, we've only just got a minute or so left in this session, and it seems to be getting closer and closer between them with every single lap they do as well. So Trulli comes through those final couple of corners now, flat out through the last right-hander, drives towards the line. Enzo Trulli on his return to the Euroformula Open Championship, and he goes back to the top of the timings, 73 thousandths of a second. Noel Leon's improving in the middle sector as well, so we'll see what he can do when we wait for Charlie Wirtz to get across the line. Wirtz is backed out of this lap.
But what about Shields? Shields not far away, 11 thousandths off the pace in the first sector, away from Enzo Trulli. So Cian Shields might enter the fight here at the very last minute. Now remember, he was second in free practice by only a mere moment. In fact, the time was shorter than that, 9 thousandths. He's lost a bit though in sector 2, which is less than ideal. So the Scot has got a little bit of work to do in the third sector, should he want to disrupt Enzo Trulli at all. But obviously here at this point with 15 seconds to go, last gasp efforts here as Cian Shields makes his way through, as we now take a reading here of car number, well, certainly the car making its way through the final corner. Cian Shields, number 73, up towards the line now, looks to try and improve. 4th fastest where he remains, did not quite hook up sector 3 as much as he would have liked. No improvements being seen at all in the first sector so far, so I think that decides it. Enzo Trulli looks like he's going to take pole.
Yeah, Baz is in the pits, so Trulli on his return to the championship will start the first race from pole position. Fantastic job from the young Italian, and Charlie Wirtz missing out by just a few hundredths in the end. Noel Leon, our 2023 champion, will start in 3rd.
He certainly will do. Charlie Wirtz now, who has certainly reinvigorated that confidence that we know so well. Of course, Oceania champion as well in terms of F4 machinery and Formula Regional machinery. And this time around here in the Euroformula Open in 2nd fastest, of course, brought himself to the top end as well in qualifying back at Mugello. And with Trulli now entering the fold here, now taking pole this time around on his return.
Well, actually, we have 2 consecutive F4 UAE champions on the front row of the grid. Enzo Trulli was champion in 2021, Charlie Wirtz 2022.
Yeah, fantastic. And the battle continues here in the Euroformula Open. We could yet see certainly the positions get twisted again when we go racing. We just see there the shake of the fist there from Enzo Trulli. He liked that one a lot, and he has taken pole position away from Charlie Wirtz, who finished 2nd fastest in qualifying. Noel Leon finishing 3rd fastest, Cian Shields in 4th, Francesco Simonazzi in 5th, with Jakob Bergmeister 6th, Levente Ravesh in 7th, Vladimir Netashil representing the Gold Cup class in 8th fastest. Well, a dazzling display, and on the return for Enzo Trulli after what has been a gargantuan season for those that have obviously been here with us throughout the entirety. There is your man who went third fastest, your champion as well, Noel Leon in third for the Mexican. He will take that start on the second row of the grid when we go racing this afternoon. And then, of course, second fastest Charlie Wirtz, of course, had his troubles at Mugello, also has had his successes. He starts on the front row this time around at Barcelona. He won't be alone, though. The man who went fastest on his return, the Austrian, well, certainly the Italian sensation, joining the Austrian on the front row, that is Enzo Trulli, everybody. He's back, and he's on top here in the Euroformula Open. Very shortly, I'm sure we will hear from him, and he'll be standing by with Alfredo Filipponi for an interview. But a very proud moment for Enzo Trulli. We saw Jarno there with him in the garage, and obviously sharing in that little bit of experience that he would have garnered in single-seater racing. Enzo himself, who has competed at F3 level as well in the FIA affiliated regions, has obviously been showing what he's capable of in Japan as well with Super Formula Lights, and naturally looking to try and bring his best to the forefront yet again. But no doubt he'll take his helmet off and there'll be a big smile on the face of Enzo, and he looks absolutely delighted. I can just see his eyes in a state of jubilance, and just conversing there with his engineers at the Motor Park team. But yeah, no doubt delighted and thrilled with that performance, as will Jarno Trulli be as well. But Chris, definitely reasons to celebrate if you're Enzo Trulli.
Absolutely. Of course, it's the same chassis that they use in the Super Formula Light series, so he's very familiar with the car. Different engines over in Japan, but yeah, certainly very experienced with the chassis, and that's served him well here today. And we're going to hear from Enzo now. Oh, we'll hear from him in just a sec, apparently, but still debriefing with the engineers by the looks of it. And sounds like he's ready for us now.
Truly back to the Euroformula for the last round and on pole position.
Yeah, great. I'm really happy to be back with the Motor Park. It's like a family for me. So we struggled a bit yesterday to find the pace. Last time I drove was 1 month ago, so it was not easy to readapt. We had some problem on Tuesday with the engine, but yeah, just great job from my engineer to put on the car. Today was really good. Car setup was perfect. I'm not so happy about my lap. I think I had more potential, but happy with the pole, and let's see this afternoon on race 1.
And going for victory this afternoon?
Yes, of course, and going for all 3 victories. This is the goal.
Well done, complimenti.
That's it.
Back with his family and looking to close out all 3 this weekend. Join us later on this afternoon at 5 to 5 when we go racing here in the Euroformula Open.